Hello everyone, my name is Renssy Rios. I am from Venezuela. I play the bass. I'm a solo bassist. I used to be a guitar player, but recently I became a bass player. How was this process? This process was after 27 years of playing the guitar, my wife and I started a music school. And in this school, I needed to buy a bass. And when I bought the bass, I started to play around with it, and instantly I fell in love with it. And students told me about Victor Wooten and Michael Manring, and I said, wow, you can do that with a bass? And I became a bass player since then. I think I've been a bass player since 2007. Later I started writing music for the bass, and my first CD is 99.9% instrumental due to the fact that I wanted the people to explore different sounds and textures that can be achieved with a bass. And I have one song that is that I sing. It's like a blues song. It's called The Storm. It's also to show the listener that the bass can also be played in blues in this form, as I'm a solo bassist. My musical influences, believe it or not, was and always will be Jimi Hendrix. He was a very creative man, a great musician. He's like my inspiration for writing music, especially for the bass. Writing music for bass, for solo bassing, it's not so easy because it's yourself. It's the bass and yourself. One of my first instruments that I played was the piano with Grace McMillan in the States. I also, well, like I told before, I also played the guitar, and it began also in the United States. Here in Venezuela, I completed my studies. Recently, I'm recording a second CD with my son, my youngest son, Ramses. He's always been after me, asking me to play with him. Him to play with me. And I said, well, okay, no problem. Let's record a song and see what it sounds like. And he recorded with me, and I said, wow, you know what? You're the drummer of this CD. And he's been the drummer ever since. I'm this producer. I'm working with Franklin Zambrano. He's a great musical technician and great producer. He's understood what I want to achieve with a solo bass, or what I call here the melodic bass. My first CD was a complicated CD because here in Venezuela it's not common to record solo bassists. I came along with Edepson Gonzalez. Edepson Gonzalez is like the piano player of a famous band here in Venezuela called Waco. And I had to record my two hands separately. And wow, that was very difficult. I struggled a lot. It was many lessons I learned from recording that way. But Franklin Zambrano has, he told me, well, record as you play. And he's kind of captured what I wanted with a solo bass. There are big differences between my first CD and my second CD. My first CD, what I said before, is almost 100% instrumental, but this second CD, I sing in it. What's the difference? The first CD is like music for musicians, and the second CD is like to get more public involved in what I call the melodic bass here in Venezuela. What do I want to achieve in music? I just want to be heard. I don't expect to be a famous guy, but I want to leave like a legacy for somebody to follow up or to even improve what I've done in my life as a musician. There was a period of time in my life where I had a big doubt whether I wanted to be a musician or not. After my mom died in 2001, I learned a lot from her death. She was expecting, or she achieved something she always wanted, and then she suddenly died. And in that moment I realized that life is too short. And when I saw a dress that she didn't wear because she wanted to save it for a special occasion. And I said, wow, there's a big lesson to be learned from this. First of all, you have to follow your dreams. It took me 20 years to say, hey, I want to be a musician. And I'm right now in my 40s, and I'm doing my first CD ever, and now I'm doing the second CD. And I expect to go on. I think I'm gonna be a musician until I die. My second CD, like I said before, is a CD that the big difference is that I sing in the CD. What are the lyrics about? The lyrics are about personal experiences, personal bad experiences. I use music like my doctor, like my shrink, because I feel better after I sing and after I play my bass. I try to use music as a therapy for me, okay, as like to ease my pain. People has asked me, what's the difference between melodic bass and the normal bass? The best way to describe it is like a piano. I play the bass like a piano. I use all my fingers, all my 8 fingers. There's a technique called, for musicians who are listening to this, 8-finger tapping. The other bass is just to be there to fill an empty space in a group. I think the big difference, I want the melodic bass to be the main instrument in a band, not a guitar or a piano or a harmonica or a saxophone. I think that's a big difference between both of them. In the melodic bass, I played rhythm bass and melody at the same time. With the other normal bass, you only play rhythm, that's it. If I had to choose a song that represents all my music, I think it would be from my first CD called Sueño de Cristal or Crystal Dreams. It's a combination between beauty and difficult techniques. And this is basically what really represents the melodic bass to me.